What is up, guys? Welcome back to the next layer for another awesome podcast. Today, we're going to talk about all things base. We're going to get into Tron. We're going to get into meme coins. I know most of you guys are bored right now. Not much going on, but there is action and there's always something mooning. I want to welcome my co-host, Bill the Bull. What's up, brother? How are we doing today?
Dude, doing well, doing well. Yeah, it is kind of boring in the market, but we always see opportunities, and that's what the next layer is all about. We show you what's going on, where the attention is, and so we're gonna bring the fire today.
Yes, sir. I'm definitely excited. But before we kick off in all this, I gotta ask you a big question, man. You went to base camp, and I'm gonna share my screen real quick.
Well,
You
actually, it
got
was
to meet.
on chain stuff. It,
Oh, my bad, my bad. On Chain Summit. So you went to On Chain Summit. You met the man, the myth, the legend, Jesse Pollock. How was that, man?
dude, it was cool, man. It was an honor. It's just it just shows the power of hard work and dedication, and like I'm a big believer in manifestation. I started the podcast in June. And you were literally my first guest, literally. But I've known you, so shout out to you for hopping on. But I had like less than 100 followers. Decided an idea, and at that time, I told myself, "Hey, my goal, I'm going to manifest the founder of Base, Jesse Pollock. He's going to come on my podcast." And through hard work, 2.5 months later, it happened. So I'm truly honored. He's a great guy, an amazing story, and it just reaffirms my belief that not only base is going to be the number one layer two in the space, but also manifestation is real. So anyone watching, don't fade manifestation. Believe in something, pursue it with all your heart, and the universe will give you opportunities to come your way. So shout out to that power.
Love it, man. Yeah, I was so stoked when you told us I think it was like 2 weeks ago or something that was coming to fruition. And man, I was so stoked for you, man. And I not trying to get off topic, but man, manifestation is 100% real. And I'll give you guys a little trick that I like to use, but I won't go too deep into it. I like to use something called the 369 method. So whatever it is you're trying to accomplish or achieve, you write it out 3 times in the morning when you first wake up, 6 times at the middle of the day, right around lunchtime, 9 times at the end of the day, right before you go to bed, review it and give it a try. And for my experience, it has worked. Have you ever tried that before, man?
No, man, but I love it. I feel the powerful method.
Oh, absolutely, dude. So definitely really good stuff, man. So let's talk about the meat and cheese, and let's just go over what's going on with Tron right now. So Tron is actually having a little bit of a meme coin run. Justin Sun is talking about buying meme coins and going crazy with it. What's your first initial thoughts about this new narrative?
Dude, honestly, I was just like, it's time. Like I said, crypto's cyclical. Degen's attention spans are very, very short. Very short. But they always go and they always chase the area that could potentially bring returns. So when I started seeing, you and Goo and people talking about Tron, I was like, I gotta get in, man. And it makes sense because Justin Sun is an eccentric billionaire, and he's very ostentatious. But that's good for crypto as a crypto founder because he's going to want to pump that ecosystem, on his own. It won't be organic, but it doesn't matter. Kind of reminds me of Richard Hart back in the Hex days. Not now because he's kind of like under investigation, but he had an eccentric founder. He was on streams. He wanted to put the spotlight because that's his reputation. So I feel the same way with Justin Sun. I feel he's going to absolutely do what it needs to do to put Tron in the spotlight because let's be honest, man, Tron's a dead chain up until now. Now it's a little exciting. What about you? What did you think when you heard everyone bridging over?
I'm not gonna lie, man. Right when I saw this dude and it said sunpump.meme, I already knew something's going down. When you see anything .meme in the name, you already know something's going down. So
Facts.
right when I saw that, I said, "All right, it's time to get on chain, throw a few darts, risk it for the biscuit." And then that was my initial thought. And then my second thought coming back, I thought it was actually brilliant, dude. Because if you think about this narrative and you think about this market, meme coins are the play. We can do a live stream about the interconnections of blockchain technology. Not many people are gonna watch it. We do a live stream about, hey, check out these cat coins, these meme coins, bro. Everybody wants to watch it. They want to know what's the next big thing. So I think first of all, like you said, I agree with you. Tron blockchain, bringing it back to life. And then the second thing, the sunpump.meme. there's a Dex token called Sun. And if you guys have been following Pump Fun, they've been making billions and billions of dollars from these meme coins. Well, what Sun Pump meme is doing is they're taking the fees from this and they're putting it back into the Sun token, which is going directly back into the entire chain. So overall, man, I think it's really bullish. I think it's awesome. Now, follow up question to you, my man. Do you think this will bring Tron as a main player for L1 blockchains, this market, because of this narrative?
To be determined. This is very similar. First thing that pops in my mind is 2023, the Doge chain mania. I don't know if you were particularly a part of that era, but it lasted maybe a month. It was fun. It was a narrative. Oh, Doge is going to be the next big thing. It's fun. You had all these memes, but it didn't really have that founder to kind of help push in the spotlight. I think it will be establishing itself as something that degens will come to. I don't think sophisticated investors will. I don't believe that at all. But I don't think it's a fad in the sense because I think Justin Sun is now saying, "Oh damn, everyone is talking about my blockchain." Finally, he's extremely wealthy. Himself can make this chain relevant just by pumping the right things. So I think it's here to stay. What about you? Do you think? What are your thoughts actually overall? I'm curious to know. What are your thoughts about Justin Sun as a crypto face in particular?
To be honest, my first initial thought, I thought he was a clout chaser because of all the stuff he's done. I thought he was always just trying to find a way to stay relevant. And then I did some research on him, and I'm not going to go too far deep just so we don't get banned off of YouTube and they start shadow banning us. But he was a part of the Davos World Economic Forum group. He
Mm,
did do a special PhD project at a boarding school in China that has to do with blockchain technology and getting into like decentralized social media. So his connection overall, he's connected with some very powerful people. The other thing I also want to throw out there, at a charity event, he paid over $1 million to sit down and have lunch with Warren Buffett for 1 hour. $1 million. And then some stuff with his parents, but I'm not going to bring that up. Ultimately, the main point I'm trying to say is the connections to him and really, really wealthy people is astronomical. And then we started to see this narrative come along. He was doing something with Tron. Then he announced they're going to launch a layer 2 blockchain, and then they launched the meme coin mania stuff. So I was like, dude, is this you just cloud chasing? And then after seeing some of these coins moon, which we're going to talk about in a second, honestly, I think he was just playing. He was just taking advantage of the situation. He was being opportunist, and I absolutely love it. So overall, man, I think this is a positive move. This is checkmarking Justin Sun's box, and if people are coming over here and having fun, why not? Why not us? You know what I'm saying?
absolutely, and I think right now, if you look at the Tron ecosystem, there's a learning curve, though, right? But that's kind of where degens kind of make their money, I guess, in the sense of taking opportunities that no one's doing. So, I mean, if you are someone listening, you don't know what's going on right now. Tron's kind of experiencing finally a correction. But dude, everything was just pumping. You would just throw darts, and it was just like boom, 2 million. I think Goo called like, what did he call some Sun token that went from like 2 to like 18. It was like, and shout out to you, Goo. Like, I have no idea. Like, you just threw out stuff, and like, I think the top. What are some of the top ones right now? I know there's Fofar.
Yeah. So let's run through this real quick. So we have Fofar. And then I believe the other one was Sundog, and then I'll get to the one that Goo really, really loved. So we got Sundog. This was sitting at $213 million. Actually, funny story about this. You guys see this wick right here. I think someone dropped, it was either a million or $100,000. It just shot up and people just started selling. It was
Talk about exit liquidity.
Jeez, man. Yeah, right when you saw that, that happened on the Moo chart as well. So when you see that, that's actually a really good sign from what we see in the past, but it's not a guarantee. I just want to make that clear. It's not a guarantee. And then I'll talk about we'll chart a couple of these, and then we had Suncat. So Suncat, this was actually one that Goo God really, really loves. So this actually, let me chart this out real quick. Yeah, so it did a nice little W. We had a magnet about right here. And then up here, I would probably say, nah, you can't really tell in the daily. It is flagging out a little bit. I'm still waiting for that 4 hourly close.
Oh, brother, I can already tell you it's bearish. I'm
Oh, it
happy
is.
to. Oh, I'm happy to go through. And the second part of the show, I think we'll do some TA. I think TA is important. I think people might find that interesting, but I mean, it depends on how you draw it, but you could say it's a bull flag, but obviously, I don't know, man. I'll tell you, I'm looking at look at how much selling pressure there is. I mean, the stock hasn't reset, but I would be pretty bearish on this one, especially if you just draw it like that. I can show you there would be 5 touch points. Whether or not it breaks out or not, you have one. So don't count the first one. On the
Okay.
way down, it would be one. That would no, move it to the right a little bit because that would be your fourth wave, your fifth wave. So basically, I can't show you the thing, but I'll go over it with you. Let's do
Oh,
that
yeah.
towards, but we'll chart that.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. I got you. So, yeah, we'll talk about that and get into like the MACD and stuff like that. But yeah, so we have Suncat, and overall those are the main ones. Now, the last thing I wanted to point out is with what's going on with the TRX price with Tron. I will say one thing, the price of this looks magnificent right now because it is arcing up right here, coming across, and this big green candle was due to a lot of people just coming in and getting into meme coins. So we're actually about to come close, and we're testing that local. I believe that's the all-time high. I think we had a higher time frame, but this technically wouldn't be like if we go up here into price discovery. But ultimately, man, Tron price chart's looking good. Any thoughts on the price in Tron, and what do you think? And how do you think it's going to perform this upcoming bull market?
I think it's going to perform very well now that they have this narrative. And that chart you're showing is extremely, extremely bullish. I think it's a multi-year consolidation too, right? And this double curl. You have the wicks. It's about approaching its all-time high in the wicks. So obviously you're going to see some resistance there, but this natural curl, higher highs, and it's just curling. So you'll probably see some consolidation up above there and then just a massive explosion, 2+ years. I think there's a high chance that Tron could go to $1. Doesn't surprise me at all. And I think if the usage of their ecosystem continues, you have to buy Tron to partake. And I think it's so early that people want to see the next Solana. They just do. I mean, honestly, Solana as a chain sucks. Let's just be real, but it's fun. It's a DJ casino, and the price of Solana is just absolutely skyrocketed. Same thing with Tron. Honestly, the token's stupid, the project's stupid, I'll just be honest, but it's fun. It's a casino. And I think Justin Sun realizes without the casino, without the degens, no one gives a fuck about it. Straight up. So I think the pressure is gonna pop. I think Tron will be really good. I'm not gonna own any except for whatever I have on the Suntron or whatever that chain is called. But are you pretty bullish too?
Uh, no, not well. I think it's going to do well, but I don't think it's going to be a top performer. And
Yeah.
the reason why I say that is the chart looks phenomenal. That's obviously just one big cup and handle, and that was actually on the weekly. So just based off that information alone, you can tell that it is going to potentially break all time high or that local all time high. I don't know how efficient that data, how far back that data goes, but the one thing that really concerns me that everybody keeps forgetting, Terra Luna.
Mm.
From my understanding, the coding between Tron, I can't remember if Tron came first or Terra Luna came first, but it has very similar coding to Terra Luna, and a lot of the funds that he's using to get into the chain came from a reserve of Bitcoin that they use to defend the price of USDT. So if USDT starts to depeg, he only has so many funds right now to protect that peg, and we can always have Terra Luna to.
Chris, can you hear me? I'm not sure if it's my end that's lagging or his. but I don't know. Can someone? Let's see. Okay, I think it's Chris is lagging a little bit, so I'll take over a little bit. Let's see. I think okay. Anyways, guys, technical difficulties. That's how we roll. Yeah, Miggles. Shout out to you, Miggles. By the way, so we're gonna, next layer we talk a lot about things. The second half of the show, we're gonna go over some charts, technical analysis, bring it in on different chains. And we're gonna go over a lot of things that we feel are the most bullish and chart wise. Miggles, I think you will see something that you're gonna like. Shout out to the chart of Miggles. Again, they don't pay me. I think they're amazing guys. I know them. They're very hardworking. But I honestly do believe Miggles has the best chart in all of crypto right now. Truly. And I'm going to go over all the technical analysis. When we get back with Chris, we want to go over Tron. And so, let's go over a little bit of Tron because TRX has kind of been in the spotlight. And like I said, if you haven't been aware, the last 3 days have been extremely boring in the market. Extremely boring, but not on Tron. And so we're going to share some, let me share some stuff on Tron. And the thing about Tron, like I said, Justin Sun is a scammer. I'll say that he is, but you know what? Scammers make the best money, right? So you got to kind of follow the waves in crypto. And yeah, Goo, I think the CCP did shut Chaos Chris down a little bit. I think he was on to something. So anyways, back to what I'm saying. So let's go to some charts. All right. So obviously I'm going to get into Brett. I'm going to get into Migos. Again, anyone who is new to my work, I am all about base. I love the base ecosystem, but I'm also a crypto maxi, profit maxi. I know what's going on with everything. I want to explain to you guys other opportunities. So one of the coins that is making a lot of waves on Tron is Fofar. Fofar has been talked about by, if you look at your influencers, they're all talking about it. Most likely they all have massive bags and they want to eventually dump on you, but it's definitely catching a lot of attention. So if you see, this is, but an example of why I'm showing you this is just to show you guys what's been going on Tron, right? So let's just go back to this. This was August 17th. Justin Sun does his thing, whatever. August 18th. Look at this pump. And this is very, very standard of every single thing on Tron that's somewhat decent. This is it's about a 300% move, 267% move. That's wild. Now let's look at some other stuff like Bow. Again, forget about the price now. I don't really pay attention to that. I know all these things are correcting. But again, look at what's been happening since August 18th. Boom, 154%. I mean, no, 15,467%. That's insane. Literally insane. So we have to show you guys these things about other opportunities. Base is my baby, but it's kind of dead right now. But eventually it will come. And I think, Tron is having its moment in the sun. Where it's going to go from here, I don't know, but we will see. Miggles, yeah, I agree. It is great to see the shitcoins going ham. If I could pin this comment, I would, but Chris has that ability. But yeah, I think it's important. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, we want liquidity to enter this market. I think we all hope base will get this liquidity, and I think it will, but we'll see. So let's I wish I could like bring on guests since Chris isn't here, but anyways. But yeah, if there's some, by the way, if there's some charts that you want me to go over while we wait for Chris, please just put them in the description. I'll chart anything, honestly. And Goo, if you want me to chart any of your coins you're into, let me know. Okay, so let's do some charts and why. And again, I'm going to turn into the two I think are very, very bullish. And again, Miggles is my number one. Let me show you guys what I'm seeing. So let's get into Miggles. All right. So again, charting is not a science, but there is an art to it. And charting, I believe, is extremely important. If technical analysis is extremely important, people say, "Oh, you can't do TA on a meme coin." I disagree. It depends on obviously TA on like a 50,000 market cap coin won't do anything, but TA on a established, $40 million project with great liquidity of over $1 million that's been established for over 2 months or a month and a half, you can, because it's all psychological like thinking, right? You see what other people see. Traders come in when the right opportunities strike. That's just kind of how it goes. So let's talk Miggles. And again, this is out of all the projects I'm in, this is the one I have actually the biggest amount of size. Just saying that right now. So obviously, I'm just showing you again. None of this is financial advice, but this is what I'm seeing, and I put my money where my mouth is, and they're not paying me to say this. I'm saying it from my own accord. All right, so with Miggles, if you guys aren't aware, in July of 17, this thing just ran up to 100 million, 110 million, and it was wild. Everyone was talking about it. They're like, "What the hell is happening with Miggles? Why is it going this way?" And it was beautiful. You had this first leg, and you have to understand, in every single asset, you're going to have something called an Elliott wave, 5-wave move every way. So that means there's going to be the first wave, there's going to be a second wave, and then you're going to have a third wave, and then a fourth wave, and then a fifth wave. That's typically how everything goes. And within every move, there's always 5 sub moves. So this move from, July 17th to, I don't know, 3 days, the 20th, 21st, it went to 100 million. Naturally, that was your first wave. And that thing's going to correct. Obviously, there's a lot of profit takers, and it's just natural that any asset has that. So it's been about a month. It's been about a month in this downtrend. And as you can see, it's just been going nicely. And what I'm seeing is this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. This is the completion. On August 8th, we have the completion of your correction, wave 2. I truly believe that. And if you take some fib levels, you can see, and when you take fibs, this is what traders do. You take the high point to the low point. If you see on this one, the fib level hit the 0.88 retracement level. I do a fib reverse level. And these things are very, very powerful. Everyone can attest to it. Oh, Chris is on. Yo, can you hear
What's
me?
up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, man.
Sorry,
Everything good
man.
with you?
I glitched out of the matrix. I don't know what happened. My Wi-Fi shut off, but we're back in
Bro,
business,
this
man. So yeah, man.
bro, the C
But yeah,
the
man, dude, keep
CCP.
on going, dude. You're
Yeah,
talking
but
about
I think
some good info.
the CCP took you down, bro. You're talking too much about Tron. But
Oh yeah,
yeah.
man. Oh man.
All right, so
Yeah.
back to this analysis. Okay. So when you get down to the 0.88, you take a fib. This is a fib reverse. This is the golden key. Most people don't realize most of your meme coins hit this 888 retracement like a magnet. Look up any chart. Look up literally any chart. So from what I see here, it hit this. This is your second wave. It took about a month from, a little less than a month. So now, we were at a point where wave 3 has to start. Now, wave 3, again, every move has 5 sub moves. So you have this microwave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is wave 1 of 3, the sub micro 1, 2, 3, wave 2. So for my analysis, we're still on wave 3, but we're now entering wave 3, sub micro wave 3 of 3, if that makes sense. What that means is I expect number to go up. And if you also notice, I drew this yellow line. This is a horizontal 45-degree resistance line. Price was respecting this as resistance. This has been in place since July 19th. And if you notice, every time price hit this, boom, rejected, boom, rejected, boom, rejected, until now, August 21st. That's about a 1-month period. So not only is this wave 3 happening, wave 3 of 3, you have this 1-month consolidation period, 45-degree resistance that just broke. You also have, if you look, zoom in on the 12-hour, actually, let's go 1 day. If you look on the 1 day, it's a little cleaner. You are going to see that the price is just peaking above this key EMA. So I'm not going to clean it up, but there's different EMAs. Price is above them all, and it's broken out. So this is a confirmed breakout. You
Mhm.
have the 1-day candle, and it closed above the full body. This is a confirmation. So there's 2 ways to look at this. Not only that, you have an inverse head and shoulders forming down here. And everything is just pointing out to, again, this is not financial advice, but I'm letting you guys know personally what I think. If you take a measure move of this inverse head and shoulders, it's about a 217% move from the breakout level after the 618, which is around 50 cents or 5 cents. So if you pull that up, you're looking at around 18 cents, give or take, for this next move up. And the last thing I'll say is if that happens, and typically you take a fib extension level, again, this is what traders do, and this is psychologically. You'll have plenty of people doing levels like this. You take a fib extension level, typically a 1.618 is a target most people want to shoot up for. And if you look at that, boom, it's around the 19, 18, 20 cent area. So anywhere around here, in my opinion, is where wave 3 is going to go. And then I do think there's going to be a consolidation. But that means this should be about 180 million market cap project. I think in the next month it's going to happen. And if that does, like I said, I don't think on this next run you're going to 2 billion or a billion. That happens on wave 5, in my opinion. But I think right now at 40 million market cap, Miggles is extremely underrated, and I think it's going to make a massive, massive move. Chris,
Great,
what are your thoughts?
great analysis, man. I absolutely love it when you're getting into Elliott wave theory. Yeah, I was looking at that. You called it resistance, and I mean, I really like to do patterns, candles, and magnets. And I know that's like the watered down version of what you do. Yours is like PhD grad school level. And when I was like doing like a descending triangle and tracing down that resistance that you were talking about, I saw that breakout move. One of the big things I want to see is at the end of the day, we get a nice, beautiful green candle closeout that doesn't end in any red candles, or we don't see any weird dojis or anything. Once you see that, dude, this thing's going to skyrocket. I'm pretty excited. I love Mr. Miggles. The team is great. The socials are great. I think it is only a matter of time. And the best part about it is I think it was Jake Kagan. He put a video out about them right when this breakout happened. So there's a lot of bullish catalysts behind this team. So yeah, man, I think overall the chart looks phenomenal, the team looks good, and the branding's awesome. Now, my question for you: we got a measure moved up to about, you said 200 to 250 million, and then you say wave
I would
5.
say, well, I just want to correct
Okay,
you. I don't think it's going to go to 250. I think that's overextended. I think me personally, I'm looking at 170 to 200, that range. That's just me personally for this move. Yeah.
okay. So if this were wave 3 is typically the most violent wave to the upside, correct?
Wave 3 would probably be, it depends. It's not necessarily. The only thing is wave 3 has to be in the Elliott wave theory, it can't be the shortest wave. So that's all it's saying. So it could be wave 5, it could be wave 3, as long as it's not the shortest wave.
I get it. Okay, I got that. Okay, yeah, I think a big misconception among a lot of crypto guys is they always go out and they say wave 3 is the craziest wave out of all of them. And after looking at some of these charts, I'm sorry not to believe that. I think it's a case by case basis, and I also do believe that you can still have a crazy push to the upside on a wave 5 if you just go look at past charts from other
Absolutely.
markets. So good stuff, man.
Typically,
So
typically wave
go ahead.
5 at the end, if you look at the last bull run, all the big pops happen on wave 5, actually, and that took us to the end. And so I think understanding Elliott waves, understanding all that kind of gives you an edge. And so, like I said, I do believe, you have to be reasonable, but like, and be within targets. Do I think like certain coins are going to go 50 to 100 billion? That's just moon talk. But, Elliott waves does give an indication as to kind of what to expect.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I do like Elliott wave theory. Okay, good stuff. And then the other thing I want to say, the training indicator they use at the bottom, I believe it was like the blue and the yellow line. Was that the stochastic RSI?
Yeah, so stochastic's great. Stochastic is great for a couple of reasons. Number one, kind of gives you an indication as to the momentum. So there's overbought, oversold territory. So if you're looking at a chart on a higher time frame and it's oversold, or sorry, overbought, expect at some point there will be a correction. Nothing goes up forever, and that correction will have to be pretty hard in that sense to reset it. Now, if you look at shorter time frames, 1 hour, 2 hour, it goes. I take less stock on that because again, same thing, overbought, oversold matters, but you should look on the little bit longer term. But yeah, I love the stock, and also shows you divergences, helps you
Okay.
detect it.
Yeah, because I like to take a look at RSI. I like to look at MACD, MACD when it comes to the bullish and the bearish divergence, especially on a higher time frame from like 4 hours, right around 4 hour. I'm not sure if I'm doing that correctly, but actually no. Let's start with that. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place, man. I'm so sorry. So
Good.
when it comes to the MACD, that's a typical trading indicator that a lot of people like to use when it comes to determining bullish and bearish indicators. Do you find that to be efficient on higher time frames or lower time frames?
In terms of the MACD, I actually don't use MACD too much. But that's just my personal thing. But again, in any indicators, you need to look at the longer time frame. That's much more accurate because there's always the potential for breakouts, false flags, false breakouts, wicks to the upside. So the longer the time frame, the less noise in the chart, I guess you can say. Especially if you like look at like 30-minute time frame or an hour, you'll see so many fake outs, like confirmations, this and that. That's why the Miggles chart I love so much, because to me it's so clear, because I'm looking at it from a daily point of view. I love the daily actually. If out of all time frames, I love the daily, just because there's less noise going on. So let me actually just again reshare something on this that I want to show you, as kind of just based on the Miggles chart, but not especially because of Miggles, but just in general trading. So let me clean this up a bit. So if you see the eight, the eight and the yellow, okay, so let's just say, for instance, this is the daily, and you see how on the daily, this is your stochastic. Right here would have been like a perfect time to buy just because it's so low. And theoretically, there's so much room to go. So that's why this is just a super perfect point where I just feel like there's so much momentum that can potentially go, and this thing could just curl. Now, the only question I have with Miggles before anything is whether or not 100 million, 110 million is going to be the resistance, and then have, chop for a while and then continue upwards, or it just blows past by. I don't know that, but yeah, so like I said, look at the longer term time frames. One day is the best. 12 hours, there might be a little correction coming up soon, or maybe it pops here and chats, whatever. Doesn't matter. But if you look at like the 15, the 30, I don't like these as much because they're just so hard to trade. Like you would have thought, oh, we broke out here and then it's fake out. Oh, we broke out here, who knows? So just ignore the noise, and honestly, just go with a daily, in my opinion. And I think you will, be much happier and content and less stressed.
Gotcha. Great piece of advice, man. Love that. Good stuff. So awesome. Well, let's get into some Tron meme coins because everybody's talking about them. We got a lot of these are getting a little bit of a correction. This actually might be a great opportunity to get into a dip, or we can talk about coins that we definitely want to avoid. So I'm gonna pick one. You pick one. Let's chart it. Just go through and just see what's
Let's
up.
go. Let's go. You go first, brother. Which one do you want to try?
I'm gonna go. I want to go with Fofar. This one's a very popular one.
Let's go. So far.
Yeah, I think we got it at the same time. Now I think about it. So let me turn off some of the stuff real quick.
And real quick, shout out to Miggles. The on Twitter, they're showing us a lot of love. Appreciate you guys. Again, you guys are the best. And like again, charts speak everything, but that team, the people making up like Force and everyone are just such amazing chads. And that's the kind of hardworking teams we need in this space. And thank you for the love.
Absolutely. And then also shout to Goo God. Yep, the CCP got us, man. They got us. I love this guy. All right. So just take an initial look at the chart. I typically I do not like go down to the 4 hourly. I like to look at the daily time frame and use a lot of meme coins with a lot of this stuff when you're going and trading. Now, right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're on the fifth day and we're seeing a major correction. So just on a daily, just looking at magnets, we're coming down to a price point of, I believe that's 23 million. So the question is, where's Fufar going to close out at the end of today? We came down, we tested this magnet. If we go a little bit much lower and we go below this magnet and we closed out here, there's a good chance we're going to come down and get in at right around 13 million. Now, right now the chart looks extremely bearish. This is a correction after a parabolic run up. These price points that I just plot out here, in my opinion, are going to be really great entries. if you not financial advice, if this thing dips below 13 million, does it close way below that? There's a good chance that this narrative's over and it's time to move on. So right now I'm paying close attention to the $24 million well, the magnet at 24 million and the magnet at 13 million. And then just looking at the 4 hour, I believe you brought this up earlier, dude, in one chat that we were in. So if you look at the exponential moving average or the EMA or the 4 hour EMA, you guys can kind of see this line just curling up, and you have these candles coming and touching. It's like a resistance, a resistance. And then I believe yesterday we broke down, came back up, came here, have a nice little doji on the 21st, broke down past it, got rejected, came up. And then I think this morning came in, touched it, and now we broke down past the EMA. So yes, this is a breakdown. Any thoughts on this, Bill?
Yeah, yeah, let me show you what I'm seeing on the chart, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, so a lot of our, mutual friends are info for myself, and I told people this morning, I'm like, I'm extremely bearish. You know, I will tell you why I'm extremely bearish. And so with coins that kind of just launched within the 4 hour, like I don't even look at dojis. I look at lower time frames because there's less chart history, right? So you want to look at the lower. So I like the 2 hours, especially with coins less than 5 days old. 2 hour kind of tells me everything I need to know. And the reason why, so again, this had its first move up 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and then 5. So I counted a 5-wave move. But the biggest thing is I noticed it was, if you notice here from the 18th onwards, it was respecting this like yellow line, right? And it was also having this 8 EMA, just going, going, going. And then this line was acting as support. The moment you start seeing bodies close or, wicks to the downside, you got to pay attention. And the market makers know what they're doing. And they want to trick you out. And actually, shout out to ZYZZ, and he was just like, kind of confused. The moment you saw this candle and you saw this pump back up, you think, oh, it was a fake out. And that could have been the case. This was the candle that determined to me that it's not, that it's bearish. Because if this was truly a fake out, this would have pumped past all-time high and just gone up, right? But it didn't. Resistance. See how this is resistance, and then broke down, wick down past this line. Up, resistance, up. This is the candle. Confirmation candle on the 2 hour that it broke down from this yellow line that's been in place for a while. So to me, I was like, okay, this now is this area of 44 million is now the resistance that needs to happen. The only way this gets bullish again is if it flips the 44 million area and holds it as support. So I knew at this moment, this candle was like, this is extremely bearish. I'm going to let it go. And if you notice, now not only is it bearish, it's gone past below the 21 EMA. So for me, I look at it two ways. I think there's going to be an entry of a lifetime. If you look at, this is like a ascending triangle pretty much. It's about a 64% move down or something. So from high, I just kind of, this is all roughly, let's just say 63. It doesn't matter. So from the breakdown point, it would be up here. You're going to be down close to this like blue line, maybe a little bit higher. So if you took a fib retracement level, that would indicate, let's see. And again, this is what traders see, guys. And in meme coins, it's very vital. So if you look at that, the blue line is kind of like the area. This kind of coincides with the 786 fib retracement level, which is perfect. That's a beautiful line. You'll probably see people trying to bid the 618. This thing's going down more. It might hit this, go up, whatever. I truly believe it's going to hit this like blue line, 786. I'm looking around 10 million market cap. I think at that point, you're going to see max bidding. I think at that point, you'll determine, okay, that was your first wave. This is your second wave. Then this would have to then take it past all-time high. If it hits this level, honestly, I'm very bullish still. Very bullish. I'm going to be bidding hard around 10 million. And I feel like this is a very typical chart of like what Brett had, where it wasn't as much resistance here, that if it consolidates here, it can easily pass up, maybe in a month from now. So I'm looking, I wouldn't enter FO4 right now at all. I'd be waiting for the retrace to 10 million. But at that point, I would highly advise taking a look at it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was actually comparing the FOFAR chart to the early Brett chart, and based on the history of when Brett first launched, the correction that it's going through right now is actually right around the same time Brett went through its correction. So at first, when I saw it starting to dip down and do its thing, I freaked out a little bit. But then when I compared past chart history and I looked at the price performance of Brett, and also seeing that there's actually, I firmly believe there are some big players in FOFAR from what I was researching and looking at the wallets. I think it's just part of a healthy correction. Now, the one next thing I want to ask you about is when it comes to corrections and time frames. When you have like a hyped market like this, do you see like a correction as like a slow bleed, or do you see it for a couple of days and then maybe we start seeing some more price action? Because a lot of these coins that we see have been doing a lot of slow bleeds. You know, you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, but like slow bleed, you mean like no return or slow bleed before the next leg up? Is that what you're
S-
saying?
Yeah, slow bleed before the next leg up.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think most of these will be slow bleeds. Look at Miggles, look at Brett. I don't believe for a second, Fofar is now going to go past all-time high in the next year or two. I do not see that at all. I think it's going to take. You look at Brett. Brett, let's pull up the Brett chart real quick. And
Yep.
this is all very, very important because you have to understand wave two starts and it takes time. It takes time for profit takers to do their thing. Look at Brett. Okay, let's go back to on the Brett. Let's go to the daily. Let's see. And so with these charts, it's kind of like, okay, I don't know why it's not pulling it up, but let's. Okay, well,
I'll try it.
okay, well, let's just say here, for instance. Okay, so it takes a lot of meme coins, right? It's around 7 days for it to kind of establish. This thing launched on the 16th. 7 days will give you typically around your first wave one. Wave two happens, it takes time to cook. It takes time to retrace. So it takes about 7 days, 6 or 7 days to come up. Like I said, there might be a fake pump up here, but I guarantee you it's going to be slowed down. And so, yeah, let me try one more time for Brett. And if not, then you can share yours. I think it's going to pop. Okay, so let's look at Brett. So let's go on the daily. Okay, I think it's here. So look at this on the daily, and we'll get into the Brett chart too later. And I love the Brett chart, and this is similar. So if you notice on the Brett chart, this wave ended, it took about, this thing was just a beast in itself to start, say, February 27th. And then, this thing went to like March 10th, and then it had a correction. So this one actually was a little bit different. But if you notice, I think after wave one, let's just say where wave one happened, April 6th, until this is how I counted wave one here to wave two. So this was April 4th to May 24th. Over a month, wave two took. And then when wave three happens, which is an impulse wave, May 24th to June 10th, takes less time. The impulses take less time. So when you do have a true correction, and if it's a wave two, expect to have a month-long correction. You saw that with Brett. You saw that with Miggles. And so I think it's going to be a slow bleed down. I don't feel, again, it could be, everything's determined on the price and the levels. It might be, tomorrow hits, if tomorrow somehow the whales dump it to 10 or 12 in that level, then I'm buying. Maybe it's like some crazy cycle. Price determines everything to me. I don't see necessarily just going down right away, but if it does, I'm prepared. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if it takes like a month-long consolidation.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. And I think the reason why I asked this question is when it comes to these corrections, I see a lot of people jump the gun very, very soon. They try to buy a falling knife. They try to get into a lot of these projects when they don't wait for them to bottom out and then to make the play. And one of my biggest learning experiences this at the beginning of the summer is projects typically when they have a correct after sell and may go away, it's a slow bleed down. You get a bottom confirmation, you make an entry, and then you start building your way up. So it's just a really great learning point. Now, I gave you my pick. What is a project that you are looking at right now on Tron?
Okay, so like I said, I faded Goo's call on Sun. What was the Sun Cap? My bad. I should never fade Goo. That's a rookie mistake. And you shared that thing at 3 million and it's 18, so my bad. Shout out to you, Goo. So I haven't really been charting that one. The only other one, like I said, and I'm somebody who, you know, doesn't like to diversify too much, especially on a new chain, because it's just very stressful for me. So the only other ones, and like I said, FOFAR, I'm going to be bidding. I'll probably be putting on my whole TRX portfolio into that one when it gets to those levels. But the other one that I was tracking was BIAO, BIAO,
Okay.
and let's show that one. It's basically a copycat of like I don't know, it's like a Chinese panda bear or something. I don't know. So if you look at it, it looks absolutely atrocious, but it was running up too. And I, for my own bags and stuff, I actually played this one perfectly because I noticed the breakdown too right away. And I think this is similar to what Fofar is going to do. So if you notice, every move, every chart has a 5-wave move. It's just Elliott wave theory. So if you kind of want to see what that looks like, impulse wave. So this is the start one. This is your subway 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this whole move made up your first move, right? And then let me kind of just show you how do you calculate the first move. You do subwaves, and the subwaves would be here. So within that whole move goes to 1, but it's counted into 5 waves. So here's your start. Here's your first wave, your second wave, your third wave, your fourth wave, and then boom, your fifth wave. I'm very confident on my counting that this was your first 5-wave move, wave 1. Wave 2 happens, and if you notice also, just like, and these market makers are the same. Look at Fofar's chart and this one. It respect this little yellow line, right? Same thing, same thing. And here you had a little break, then a pop, and a break. Moment it broke down and confirmed, I knew we're in trouble. I didn't care about this move up. I just knew this was it. So if you look at this one, uh, actually it's not a bad one. So you take a measure move from the breakdown, it's around 70%. So then if you go down from the breakdown of the triangle, 70%, we actually are close to it. We actually did hit it kind of overextended. So I do expect, and if you take a fib retracement level, then you're at the 888. What did we say? Chris, you know what this number is? Where do we hit?
88.88.
Brother, like clockwork, which is exactly where I expected it to go. Now, with these coins, so in theory, uh, this is the thing. In theory, this is extremely a perfect time to buy. 100%. Again, nothing I'm saying is financial advice. And the reason I'm not saying that is because there is a certain level of risk involved. So if this was like a Miggles or if this was like a Brett and it hit this level and I counted it, I'd be like, let's go. But the one thing you have to understand is, if you're into Tron network and you're into the project and you feel comfortable, it's a great time to buy, in my opinion. But you have to understand, you don't know who the devs are. You don't know, it's so new. You don't know if it's like there's actually scammers involved. You don't know if they're willing to just dump their bag anytime since it's so new. So in theory, it's a great time to buy because wave 2 is going to happen, go up here, but at some point wave 3 will begin. This could be your wave 2. And if that's the case, then this thing will go past, this all-time high. And so my advice would be, if you're on the fence, maybe nibble a little bit, but then have a tight stop loss. Like if it closes below like this area, then hit it. And actually that's what I'm going to do. Now that I'm seeing this chart, I'm just telling you my game plan. I'm going to start nibbling again on this one. I think the nerve is pretty good. But if it goes below this 888 level and starts closing at like 500K mark or something, I'm out. So it's a small, to me, the risk reward's really good. So that's what I'm saying. So yeah, right now, Bow I think is about to should or could do some numbers.
Gotcha. Absolutely love it, man. Great analysis. That's actually a really popular one. And I think Bow is going to be a potential great one to do a dollar cost average in. And hey, just for the love of good, man, because he's such a Suncat maxi.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna bring this up.
Show me what
So
you see.
so based on those Elliott subwaves, you did a great job of covering. So these are just the subways coming up. It looks like we did like 3 here, blow off, and then oh wait, hold on. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think that's the completion of wave 1 of what we're
absolutely.
seeing. And then do a nice little retrace. I don't know if I add that 0.88 in here. Hold on. You flip this around. I'm a big Dex screener guy. I saw you like Dex tools. I mean,
Oh, bro, I'm probably the only one out there still left that only uses Dex tools. I don't know what it is. Everyone's like, I love Dex screener. I'm like, I hate Dex screener. But I don't know. You should on this retrace put it all the way down to the beginning of the whole move.
oh
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
you're
gotcha.
not on two. And notice too, so I'm actually 100% with you. I think you counted the first wave perfectly. That's your first move. Now understand that there's basically 5 moves down on wave 2 as well. So I can already see that this thing's gonna go lower. It hasn't completed its 5-wave move down. I count 1, 2, and then it's on its third. My head's a fourth. Like, this thing is going down. I don't need to see anything else knowing that it's going to hit. I think, the levels that you put, the previous resistance into support is a magnet for sure. If it gets to that level, what's that fib like? What does it say? 7.6?
Yeah, 7.6. I need to add the 8.8, but yeah, 7.6.
I mean, yeah, if it gets to the 7.6, I'd be starting bid right there because then you turn former support or former resistance into support. Um, but yeah, I do think that there's more bullish charts. Like I do believe Bow's a little bit more bullish just on my count, but everything in Tron right now is going through a correction. And yeah, as I say, Bow is just like going down more. It's like 900K market. Like I said, those type of projects, it really comes down to technical analysis can work, but you can't control, the random devs running this thing. So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Now, the other thing I want to ask you, yeah, sorry I didn't put the point eight on this one. I have my other computer. But what do you think about trading using magnets? So I know Beerus likes to use it. I like to use it. Goo likes to use it. I think it's like a very basic level. Do you think that's sufficient enough, or do you think the Elliott wave theory will really bring you up to that next level?
Oh, I mean, without a doubt, LA wave theory will bring you to the next level. I think magnets. So with magnets, you guys are just basically talking about like resistance and support, right?
Yeah, it's just price. It's just price targets to look
Yeah,
for.
no, I mean, listen, I think it's great initial stages, and I think, it coincides with the LA Waves give you confluence. I think they're both extremely good, but I think magnets are just a very basic level, right? Because you might hit a resistance level and you think, okay, it's the end of the wave, but then if you take like a fib retracement, you realize, oh, it only hit the, zero point 0.5 retracement and it's not going to be even close to anything. Um, so I think it gives a general idea for a beginner where to go. But I think if you can add Elliott wave theory to it, it takes it to the next level.
Okay. Awesome. I appreciate that, man, because I definitely have learned so much about trading from you, dude. I really do appreciate it. Every time you mention something on this live stream, I always spend 2 hours after just reading into stuff. Like last time, it was the Elliott wave theory, and you got into those sub waves. And I started looking and I was like, holy smokes, this makes total sense on the build up, the build down, and then
Yeah.
the bigger time frame, the bigger picture. So I love it, dude. Good stuff. Let's see
And
if
yeah, I
it.
think
Yeah,
Goo,
go
Goo
ahead.
made the right point. Yeah, magnets are cool for swinging. But again, I think overall, adding Elliott wave theory to your repertoire, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely do agree, and I also do believe that when it comes to bullish and bearish divergence, there's a lot of indicators that people like to use, and this is a lot of stuff you guys can take a look at. I've been looking at the MACD, but based off of what Bill was saying, you can also do that with like the stochastic RSI. So I think having a basic level understanding in your back pocket, and especially when we get into the next leg of this bull market, because we're going to get into this phase where we have the blow off top, where everything goes parabolic, where everything's goes banana, and then everyone's going to say this is the end all be all bull market, when in reality it's just the same exact thing. And I think if you have these tools in set, and you guys have probably like another month or a month and a half, and if you really just sit down, watch a bunch of videos, and get a basic level understanding, when we start to get towards the end of this market, and we phase into the bear market, you will have the tools and the skills to understand where we're at, so you can make your exit plan. Because I'm telling you guys right now, when this thing starts going crazy and everyone has hopium and stuff, it's going to be like a big party. But sooner or later, this party is going to end. People get drunk and they pass out. And it's the same thing every time with crypto. Any thoughts on that, Bill?
Yeah, I mean, you're right on, man. Well said. And I think, like I said, there's going to be a time when everything's just pumping, everyone's ecstatic. But just right now, look at the TRX coins right now. FO4, I just looked at, it's at 17 million now. It was literally at 30 million, 35 million. And so for those again who don't think TA works or is not applicable to meme coin, I highly disagree. I highly think you would save yourself a lot of time and a headache. And yeah, like I said, I think everything's going on correction. But yeah, prepare yourself with all the tools necessary needed. And at some point, this is going to end. And for me, it's March 2025. I don't know what's going to happen, but like I'm out. That's it. I mean, I'll still be now I'll be committed only to content creation, but I don't think I'll be degenning on any chain, honestly. So learn the skills, be ready, be prepared.
Absolutely. So definitely excited. And hey, man, I think we had a great live stream here.
Same, brother.
I glitched out of the matrix for a little bit, but this was a very intensive live stream. So there's a lot of great stuff you can learn. Bill gave us a great breakdown. I suggest anybody, if you get a chance, rewatch this live stream, look up some of the terms that Bill was talking about, because this is what I like to do when I do research. So little inside scoop. So yeah, man, good stuff. And hey, guys, we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace out, everyone.